Welcome back, folks, to your brand new favorite movie review YouTube channel. You guessed it, Man Cinema Reviews, with its lovely host, as always, Peter Mann. What's up, y'all? Today we're gonna get into two brand new movie releases. One is Ty West's latest horror film, Pearl, and we also got the Agatha Christie inspired whodunit, See How They Run. But before we get to those releases, go ahead and take care of some business, and that is to press like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell as well to notify you of any and all reviews to this channel. To my day ones and my brand new subscribers, thank you very much for choosing Man Cinema Reviews. The first film, and that is Ty West's latest Pearl. In his ongoing trilogy, he released X this past summer, and this tells the tale of the origin story of its villain, Pearl, growing up in a provincial rural farm town under the care of her bedridden father and her overbearing mother. She wants to escape her provincial life, going to become a dancer, celebrity of sorts, but before she can do that, she must get out of her parents' will and into the arms of a stranger whilst she is waiting for her husband to come back from the war. Now, this has been touted as Ty West's demented Disney golden age melodrama horror film, and it is just beautifully shot. The cinematography is crisp. It still has that grainy feel. Mia Goth is just lighting up the lights in this film. She is very reminiscent of Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz. In fact, there's very much parallels between the golden age of Hollywood and what is going on screen in Pearl. And Ty West is beautifully constructing this very Texas-inspired Texas Chainsaw Massacre melodrama horror film. And going into the last film, it's going to be set in the 80s, called Maxine. We're going to get Mia Goth's character in that film, the only survivor in X. But with this film, Pearl, it just goes into the mind of madness with the titular character. Now, she is very hung up on the glitz and glamour of the Hollywood lifestyle. She goes to the picture shows whenever she is touted into town, usually doing chores for her overbearing mother, getting medicine for her bedridden father, but she meets a projectionist after she watches a film, and he takes a liking to her. She unknowingly is also very attracted to this man, even though she is married currently with her husband out in war. But then you get to see just the troubled mind of Pearl. You get to see her alone with farm animals. She is very capable of doing harm to a number of these animals, and in fact, there is a crocodile lurking out in the swamp back in the backyard of her home. And so you see the evil brewing within Pearl, and Mia Goth really just loses herself in this role. I really thought that she played a very key supporting role in X, and she's doing a dual performance in that film. With Pearl, we get to see the mind of the macabre and the madness with the character Pearl. And what I like about it is it's a character study that is just descending into a just troubled mind and a troubled youth who sees a goal set for herself, but will do anything by any means possible to get there. She wants to escape the clutches of her overbearing mother, and the dynamic between the two characters is very tumultuous, and it gets to a standstill when something very macabre happens right in the middle of the film. And from then on, she is just driven into a insane killing spree. And that's what I liked about this film. It is more of a melodrama, but then it brews into a very sadistic horror film, and that's what I liked about it. And I think that Mia Goth is really just giving it her all. This performance is one for an Academy Award, even just nomination. She would be robbed, and it would be really such a shame, because when Hereditary came out, Toni Collette is such an underrated actress that I really think that film could have catapulted her in talks of being nominated for Best Actress. I think Mia Goth gives the audience a run for its money. She is so compelling to watch in this film, and in fact, even by the last frame, you stay with the end credits, where it's just a close-up shot of her face, and she is just giving you a multitude of emotions, and all she's doing is staying in one place, but she's giving it her all in her eyes and her teeth and her mouth. And it's very scary, it's very vulnerable, it's very awe-inspiring, to the point where she's just standing still, not blinking once. Her eyes are just very glossy, and it's just really a sight to see. It's very scary all the way up until the end of the film. And I tout this as one of the, not just one of the best films that I've seen this year, but one of the best examples of how a horror film should be propelled, and what it does for the horror genre. Now, last week's Barbarian is being touted as one of the best horror films, and I was just so lukewarm to just really not impressed by what Barbarian does. In here, it's such a shame if Ty West doesn't inch out Barbarian. I don't think he will do so. I think Barbarian is such a general audience kind of film. People are going to be, especially it's getting a lot of word of mouth, and with the critical acclaim that it is garnering, I just think Barbarian's going to overshadow the shine that I think that Pearl deserves. Now, Pearl it's great what Ty West does. He stretches his dollar. This film is made for $1 million. It's already made its budget, but I would like to see it catapult into, going into double digits, even maybe nearing triple digits. I don't think it's gonna get there, but I think it's that domestic run is gonna really factor in how Ty West will, continue his run, and hopefully it gains traction. I hope so. I know Barbarian was number 2 in the box office, and I think that makes Pearl number 3 or number 4, which is a shame, because I really think that word of mouth should garner Pearl, just the status that it so much deserves to be and being talked about. So with that, I do recommend you watching this. This is one of my favorite horror films this year. It's a great example of what to do to capture the Technicolor aspect of what Ty West is doing, and he does it so seamless. This film is just great, and I'm gonna give it a perfect 5-star review. It's one of my favorite films, and I hope you go out and venture to watch it, because it's really a treat to watch. Going on to a 1950s whodunit. This is the film See How They Run. It's an ensemble cast. We have Sam Rockwell, Saoirse Ronan, Daniel Oyelowo, just a star-studded cast. This is about 1950s London. It's taking place during a theater run of an Agatha Christie story called The Mousetrap. And Hollywood is knocking down on London's door, and they want to turn this play into a Hollywood picture. However, one of the cast and crew is murdered, at the theater, and now everyone is a suspect. In comes the inspector, played by Sam Rockwell, and the constable, played by Saoirse Ronan. And I think that this is a great whodunit. This is also featuring Adrien Brody. It's just a really star-studded cast, and no one's really talking about this film. I think that with Knives Out, you would think that an emergence of a great murder mystery would really turn the tide for Hollywood. But this one is more of a comedic whodunit. I like the fact that it is talking to its audience. The narration of Adrien Brody in the beginning of the film really sets up the mood and what we're going to be going into. This is Clue. This is just a great example of a whodunit, and I think Adrien Brody's character even reiterates it's a classic whodunit. Once you've seen one once, you've seen them all. And this one kind of just heightens it, and I think that the comedic brilliance that Saoirse Ronan and Sam Rockwell playing kind of partners in discovering who the killer is. I think this is a great vehicle for a murder mystery, and I was rather pleased with it. I thought it was a great crowd pleaser. Now, it's not a perfect film. I think that it's very cookie cutter. It's very sweet. It's so sweet that it almost leaves you with a toothache or a cavity. It's just very pulpy. It's very vibrant, but it brings about what you like in a great whodunit. And the cast is very appealing. I'm a big fan of Sam Rockwell. I think he is such an underrated actor, so when I see him shine in a leading role, I am just a great supporter in this man's work. And I think Saoirse Ronan as well has not garnered enough accolades and not given a proper Academy Award for all the various films that she's done so far, as as Brooklyn, Little Women. I just think that she's been robbed of some accolades, and she's having her fun as well with Sam Rockwell. The two play well off each other, and I just think that it's a great crowd pleaser, popcorn kind of schlocky fun. But it's very sophisticated in the way it presents itself. I like the split screen Brian De Palma kind of shots that you see throughout the film, breaking down scenes of flashbacks, and it's very critical because characters say how flashbacks are so cliched, and yet they, explain in flashbacks what happened at a certain event in the film. So I like the fact that it's very tongue-in-cheek. It's very, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's very playful in its banter, and it's very boisterous and bombastic, and it's really delightful, really. But when scenes kind of play out and you see how the film goes, it just kind of loses its luster a bit, and I feel that it kind of just cruises within the third act to where you kind of see how the film is going to wrap up, and it wraps up very nice and packaged like, and I think it could have been more rough around the edges. As playful as it is, I just think it's a little bit standard in that fact, but it's a great whodunit. With that, I thought it was very fun and a very enjoyable watch. It's not a perfect film, but it's a great time in theaters. And if you're seeking something outside of the box, I'd say go check out See How They Run. I'm gonna give this a very commendable 3.5 stars. It's a very fun watch, but go watch Pearl. It's one of the best horror films, and we'll see you on the next one.